Well, before we get rolling here, for everybody, 2020 Fantasy Football Almanac and Draft Guide here. 250 pages, 300 players ranked, but we're different. Why are we different? Is because we have proprietary premium fantasy football sports analytics. I generate my own algorithms. They're proprietary. You can't get them anywhere else because the only place I license the math is stuff that my company owns. And then the other thing is I watch a crazy. Brad knows this. I watch a crazy amount of football year after year. And when I say crazy amount, I mean I have 3 TVs going. I have Game Pass. I watch every single game. It's over 1,000 hours of film study, plotting the plays, isolating matchups to find you the best fantasy football sleepers, the best fantasy football draft strategy, so on and so forth. But let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. Oh, man. So, yeah, I do think that they're the favorites. I don't think it's a slam dunk favorite. You and me, Brad, I was higher on them early in the year, but you came around, especially in playoff time. You like the way this team plays football. Am I right?
Yeah, I was really, I enjoyed watching them, and I think that they're going to be even more exciting with the addition of Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's like something no one's talking about.
Yeah.
That's going to be huge for them. Do you
I,
agree?
I agree. So, like last year, so John Brown, you have Josh Allen, who we both agree. First of all, he's huge, right? And he runs. So, as a fantasy football quarterback, he's going to be, I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. Like, he's not going to be Lamar Jackson. Like, people are like, everybody's looking for the next rushing quarterback. Like Kyler Murray, people are throwing out too. Look, you got to remember Lamar Jackson. Yes, he has the physical talent, but Lamar Jackson plays in a Greg Roman's system, the same system that kind of sprung. Colin Kaepernick back in the day. The dude just coaches kind of running quarterbacks in a way that nobody else does. So you got to remember scheme here. Josh Allen, he's not going to get you the volume of yards, but nobody else is in the league either of a Lamar Jackson. But he gets you rushing yards, he gets you rushing touchdowns, so he's going to be good. But you're talking about Stefon Diggs. I was like, John Brown last year I think was one of the most underrated wide receivers. The dude, like Josh Allen, likes to take deep shots. Brown was getting behind defenses and catching balls. He's a weird guy, Brad, where he was over 30 last year and he had his best season as a pro. You never see that. And then adding Stefon Diggs on the other side, in addition to having Cole Beasley, who started to kind of ramp up towards the end of last season, like this is a good receiving group. And not only that, but you have like Dawson Knox at tight end, and I'm forgetting the other. The other tight end, who am I thinking of? Dawson Knox and Tyler Kroft at tight end. Like this is a good receiving group. I think they're probably the best receiving group in the division outside of Miami, who when they have Devontae Parker and Preston Williams healthy, those two are just so good that they can compete. But yeah, man, Stefon Diggs on the other side. He's going to draw coverage away. You can't really double cover Stefon Diggs and John Brown because then people will be eating you up over the middle all day. It's going to be interesting, man.
Sean, don't they play a rough, hard-nosed style of defense similar to Baltimore?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, their defense is awesome. Sean McDermott, I think, is one of the best coaches in the league. Not only that, so they added some pieces. Yeah, they lost Shaq Lawson. They lost Kevin Johnson. They lost some decent pieces. Don't get me wrong on defense. But you add Josh Norman, who, look, he didn't play well in Washington, but he's going back to the scheme he was known for in Carolina.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a guy that, people are kind of like, oh, Josh Norman, he's way past his prime and all that. He's going back to the scheme that he's comfortable with and that made him that all-pro formidable cornerback. I think there's some serious upside there. Quentin Jefferson, A.J. Klein I like coming over at linebacker. And that Stefon Diggs thing, though, is so big. I think this defense is a system-type defense, and we talk about this with the Patriots, too. When you build a program with these kind of defenses, when you lose stars, you can generally have the next guy up philosophy, and you're not going to lose that much. That's why you were saying, like, Baltimore, it's that hard-nosed defense. They're always good. I think Buffalo's in that category. You add that piece at wide receiver. Singletary at running back, I think, is going to ascend. I loved him last year, but you also add Moss in the draft, so you lose Frank Gore, but you add a younger thumper on the goal line there. I think this team is going to be better. I think this team should be the favorites in the division. And Brad, I know we talked about this kind of in our rapid fire win-loss total, but BetOnline has their over/under season total here at 9 wins. Are you over or are you under 9 wins for Buffalo?
I'm going to go over 9 wins. I think they pull off an 11-win season. I think they peak, man, but more so than we have seen them in a while. I think they take that division.
I do. I think they take it as well. Now, this division, we were just saying, I think it's more competitive than people are giving it credit for. But Buffalo is mainly intact. They have a young quarterback who's raw. I'd like to see him throw with more precision. But Stefon Diggs and John Brown down the field is going to help. I like Dawson Knox. He kind of came in, and I think Tyler Kroft was supposed to be the starting tight end, but he got hurt, and Knox kind of took that team over there, at least at that position. I like the way they can work kind of the flats with Singletary. I like the obviously Knox at tight end, and I like Beasley in the slot. There's really no weakness in this offensive team other than I'd like to see Josh Allen progress as a passer and throw like 64%. If he can do that, dude, like they could be a 12-win team.
They could be. They could be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for Buffalo this year. And can we just say this, that quite possibly every team in that division will have improved except for the Patriots.
Yeah.
All three of them are moving up, ascending. Mm-hmm. New England coming down. All of a sudden, it's a lot of fun.
Yes, a lot of fun, and more fun than it's been in the last 20 years to protect. And I'll leave,
for sure.
I'll leave this with the Buffalo Bills here. I remember very well when we were talking about the Ravens in the AFC North last year. I feel very similar to the Buffalo Bills this year as I did with the Ravens last year. As everybody's talking about how raw Lamar Jackson was and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I mean, they had an offense that catered to a running quarterback, but the defense and they just play sound football. And with that extra efficiency at quarterback with Lamar Jackson, you saw what the Ravens did last year. They were a juggernaut. And Buffalo, I'm telling you, they're a couple of percentage points and a little bit of better decision-making from Josh Allen from being a 12-13 win team. They really are. So this team is definitely on the rise.